Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we will be looking at my 2003 half-ton Chevrolet. It's actually the truck that I've had since high school. It's got a little bit of work done to it. We will go through the tuning, what's all done to it, drivability and whatnot, and I'll show y'all a couple pulls, couple burnouts, and let's jump into it. So the truck is a 2003 half-ton Chevrolet 5.3 4L60E two-wheel drive. In front of that 4L60E, there is a 3,3200 stall torque converter from Circle D. To support that stalled converter, there is a TrueCool 40K transmission cooler, which I have a transmission gauge to monitor all of my transmission temps because the Texas heat is pretty brutal on it. 216 over 222, 600 over 600. Custom ground cam suggested and spec'd out by Pat Guerra, Pat G Tuning. He did all the tuning on the truck as well. It's on a 93 tune, and the tranny is tuned as well. The shift points are brought up and everything shifts smoothly when you're just regular in-town driving. It's got Texas Speeds 2 3/4 inch long tube headers with their catless Y pipe that connects to a 3-inch MBRP exhaust. In that 3-inch MBRP exhaust, there is a QTP electric cutout that I got to switch in the truck for. It's pretty nice having that cutout, I will say, especially with it being electric. It was a little more expensive, but when you want the truck to be, you know, real quiet on the street, you just close that cutout, everything's fine. You want to be a little rowdy, you can open that cutout and it gets pretty loud. So we're doing a little bit of in-town driving right now, and you know, even with the converter that it's got in it, you can't tell, you know, that it's got one in it if you're daily driving it. A common misconception with a lot of torque converters is that people think that just because, you know, it's got an overstock converter in it, that it's going to be real, you know, it's going to show a stall, but it really doesn't. They think that, you know, you're going to have to rev it up to 3,000 RPMs to get it going every time. It's not true. With Circle D, and from what I've heard with a couple of other torque converter manufacturers, I don't know how theirs are, but I mean, I've heard that theirs are pretty streetable. Some of them you can feel the lockup quite a bit, but with this one, not really. It's real streetable. You can see in the RPMs here that, you know, it doesn't really hang the gears like some people would think it would. It shifts fine. Don't mind the airbag light, because common Chevrolet problem. But, you know, just regular driving, it's fine. It's when you make pulls is when the torque converter actually, you know, shows that it's there, allows you to get into the RPM range. One of my resistors is out in the blinker, but daily driving, you know, it's fine. The cutout is closed right now. It is still a stock AC truck. It's not a race truck or anything. It's still a daily. I did daily it all through college, and no real issues, honestly. The reliability of it, you know, some people will say a cam truck doesn't have, you know, the reliability that something from, you know, Chevrolet straight off the factory floor will have, but I've put over 40,000 miles on it how it is, and you know, no issues whatsoever. None with the TrueCool, none with the converter, none with the transmission after I did the work to it, none with the valve train after I did valve train work to it. No issues whatsoever. I mean, I can't complain with the truck at all. The way it performs, it hurts a couple feelings, you know. It does what it does. It's an older truck. It gets a little, you know, louder in the inside with wind and such, but that's about it. Some people will say that, you know, because it doesn't have converters in it anymore, or because it's, you know, it has long tubes on it, you can smell the exhaust in the truck. It's not true. I have the AC on all the time, and I mean, you can never smell the exhaust in the truck at all, I don't think, unless I done got immune to it. But there's nothing really that I can complain with after I did everything to the truck that, you know, would cause any issues, cause me to have a headache in the cab because of fumes. No. If you want to do it, I mean, I really do think it's a good idea. you want to, you know, have a good performing truck. So just as a reminder though, these trucks make about 250 to 240 horsepower to the wheel stock. And with the intake, exhaust, cam, everything, this truck made 350 horsepower to the wheel. So gained about 100 horsepower when you're talking about $3,000 worth of, you know, upgrades, with, you know, between everything that I ordered and that all coming from Texas Speed and whatnot. But yeah, so we're gonna get a little rowdy here and make a pull onto the highway so y'all can see exactly how it performs. We'll take a look at the speedometer, where it's gonna do its, I don't know, I probably got enough road to make 0 to 60 or so, 0 to 80. It is a little louder in the cab, you know, without, I mean, with the cutout open and the windows down. Does what it does, but with all the work and the amount of money that I have in it, I really can't complain for it being 2003 to 2022, you know, a 19-year-old truck. It really does perform, you know, way above what it did when it came off of the factory floor. And I mean, as you can tell by that pull there, it gets up and goes. Once it downshifts into first, you know, it really comes alive. So like I said, there's a big difference, you know, when the cutout's closed and when it's open, as to, you know, the tone of the truck, how it screams, just pretty much everything. And on actually the last pull that we made on the dyno, we made it with the cutout open. All the other ones were closed, not making any changes to the tune, anything. It didn't lean out, but it did make 10 more horsepower with that cutout open. We were actually real surprised that it did that, because we weren't expecting it. I don't know if it's, you know, less back pressure, scavenging was better, whatever the case was though. But I'll throw a video in right now so that way you can see the difference. The truck really does cam pretty hard for as small of a cam that it has. But I'll throw a video in now, and then after that we'll do a little burnout and y'all can see what it's got. To, you know, lie about how the truck performs or anything, do it on some wet asphalt, do it on some wet tires. You know, it's just what the truck does, how it performs, and we'll see what she's got. That's what she does. She performs good for what it is, cam only truck. But we're gonna take it back onto the house so that way cops don't mess with us any. Been a little rowdy today. So I went on ahead and turned back around so that way the people that'll say, oh, it was only one wheel peel, posi wasn't locked up. Here you go. 2 black stripes. Here she is. She don't do bad for what she is, I tell you that. Pat G, Circle D, and Texas Speed hit it on the nail with this one. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and put the truck up for the day. But you know, if you like the content, you want to know anything else about the truck, anything like that, you know, like, comment, subscribe. It'll help the channel. Maybe this truck will be on nitrous one day. I'm hoping it will. So thanks for watching.